Hey everybody, my name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com, and this is part of a two-part video on Bitcoin and the cryptocurrency market. So this video is more of the beginner video where I just kind of explain what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is for someone who's maybe new to the topic. And in the second video, I'm going to discuss sort of the state of the cryptocurrency market right now, all the cool things that are being done, and innovations and things to look forward to. So first to start off, what is Bitcoin? Now, Bitcoin was a digital currency that just basically sort of came into existence, and literally you can use it to buy stuff. You can pay for your Netflix with it. You can buy stuff from Microsoft with it. And now through a platform called BitPay, you can actually get a Visa Mastercard, a Visa card, and go anywhere that accepts Visa cards and spend your Bitcoin. So for the most part, Bitcoin is a medium of exchange, but what was really interesting was the underlying technology, because when it was created and released by the unknown Satoshi, who's someone who wrote the code, put it out there, and no one really knows who Satoshi is. Basically what happens is the underlying technology is called blockchain. And what it does is that basically what you're doing is you're creating a distributed ledger. Now, if you're not familiar with what a ledger is, in accounting, a ledger is a record of all transactions. And the idea is you always keep that ledger very safe, because if you lose a ledger, then you lose track of what customers owe you and what you owe your customers, what transactions have happened in the past, etc. Now, over time, you now have accounting software that does that, like QuickBooks or something like that. But if you lose your QuickBooks file, whether it's stored in the cloud or stored on a hard drive on your computer, if that's lost, you've lost all the information about your company and all of its transactions, etc. So there's always been this sort of centralization of having to keep the record of financial transactions, which puts keeping track of these things at risk, which is sort of always been an incentive to use banks and traditional financial system, because they take steps to sort of reduce all those risks. Now, with a blockchain, though, you have a digital record of all transactions, but it's not on any one computer. It's distributed through the blockchain. So basically you have computers all around the world basically keeping track of this ledger. And then every time a new transaction happens, there has to be a verification between all of these different computers. So if someone wanted to hack that record, because that's another problem with having a central record, whether it's your QuickBooks file, someone could hack into your computer and edit your accounting records, this is safer because basically you'd have to be able to edit all the different computers that have that distributed ledger at the same time in order to modify it. So basically no one can just hack the ledger and say, hey, your Bitcoin is theirs. Now, that doesn't mean you're perfectly safe, because your Bitcoins are stored somewhere in what's called your wallet. And basically, the wallet's really just an address in that ledger that says, okay, there's this person who has this string of letters, XYZ 1 2 3 4 5 3 2G XY, and they have this many coins. And that's all kept track of on the Bitcoin ledger, aka the blockchain. But for all intents and purposes, you don't have to really worry about all those technical details. You can just go on a website like Coinbase.com and open up your own Bitcoin wallet, which can help you hold Bitcoin. Okay? Now, the cool thing is, you don't have to worry on whether, like, let's say one day Coinbase were to go belly up, your wallet is still out there. Okay, you would just have to get your passphrase, and then you can restore your wallet somewhere else. Passphrase is like a weird sentence that you get when you open up a Bitcoin wallet that allows you to access that wallet from outside of the computer that you're currently on. Okay, but you never the idea is you don't share your passphrase, because if someone else has your passphrase, they can then get inside your wallet, send themselves all the Bitcoins. That's where the risks come in. It's you not taking care of yourself. So putting all your money in one wallet, all your Bitcoin in one wallet, someone gets your passphrase, they send your coins to them. Or they hack into your Coinbase account by knowing your username and password, and they send yourself. But that's the same problem you already have with a traditional banking system. In those ways, people can hack into your savings account at Chase, Bank of America, get your login information, then wire themselves all the money. So that's not necessarily anything unique to Bitcoin. Those risks exist with any financial institution and in general. But again, the idea of being able to modify these electronic records, that's not a thing, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that's sort of the the big selling point of blockchain technology, because it's a lot cheaper than having a bank keep track of all of this stuff. You don't need some central authority keeping track of where everything is. But who says that it has to only be used for money? It could be used for keeping track of who owns a house, who owns a car, keeping track of who owns gift receipts for a store, or who has rights to access a song that was bought on, like iTunes or something. You could theoretically use this type of technology to keep track of ownership of anything, okay, and create all sorts of different tokens, and that's where things are sort of going. Now, Bitcoin, just as a currency, people worry, is like, well, Bitcoin isn't backed by anything. Well, in the beginning, Bitcoin developed its value because it gave you an alternative for people to do sort of a lot of times underground transactions out of the traditional financial system, whether it be buying and selling drugs, etc. Over there on what was a website that used to be called the Silk Road. That's kind of where it got its start, as far as being valuable in a transaction. But over time, it became useful for sending money overseas. So instead of having to go through someone like Western Union and pay a fee, you could just buy some Bitcoin, send Bitcoin to someone else's wallet in another country. They go use that Bitcoin to go buy stuff in their country. It's also been useful. It's also gotten value as governments have become threatened people's money. So in Cyprus, originally the government of Cyprus was going to go in there and take money out of people's bank accounts. So everyone rushed to put their money in Bitcoin where the government couldn't take it. In Venezuela, the government has printed so much money that their money's become worthless, that people are mining Bitcoins because they get free electricity in Venezuela because, socialism. So while everything else is a mess, they got free electricity. They're mining Bitcoins, which is how you create new Bitcoins. That's a totally different discussion. Not something if you're just looking to buy and use Bitcoins and buy stuff, don't worry about the mining at the moment. Just think of it as setting up your computer to verify all these transactions. That's essentially what mining is. But basically, people in Venezuela are mining Bitcoins, and that's how some people are keeping afloat, okay, by mining Bitcoin, selling them, and generating money. So there's been all these different ways that Bitcoin has served a purpose in different places and created value. But now it's generating more value than ever, because a lot of the new stuff that's coming up, which I'll talk about in the second video, all functions through Bitcoin. So through all these new platform coins, which will be the subject of my next video, the only way to kind of get in and out of these platforms is through Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has become sort of the reserve currency to get in and out of all these other blockchain platforms, which gives it a value in itself. It's the entryway into this sort of digital financial system that's been growing and expanding over time. And then basically, as more people try out all these different new financial systems that are being developed, there's more and more demand for Bitcoin. So there is a genuine demand for Bitcoin. It's not adopted by everybody yet. Okay, its adoption is still small, which means the upside is huge, but it also means the volatility is going to be huge as well. There could be huge upswings, huge downswings, because it's the nature of when you have a small amount of people doing something. But the possibilities are exciting. So check out the second video where I'll talk about some of those possibilities. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you like this video, share it, and subscribe to my podcast, the Alex Merced Cast, and my other economics podcast, Economics Why Not. I'll see you guys in the next video. My name is Alex Merced from alexmerced.com. Have a great day and enjoy.